Okay. All right, and I'm going to start off with your name and title.
My name is Bill Koontz. I'm the project manager for the corporate college at Western Iowa Tech Community College.
This is Kelly Hill, technology reporter with RCR Wireless News. I'm here with Bill of Corporate College, and we're going to be talking about their program. Bill, good morning, and I'm hoping you can tell us about the Tower Climbing Academy that you folks have.
Absolutely. The corporate college is part of a community college in Western Iowa, actually in Sioux City, Iowa. We do corporate training, and we set up corporate training models for different companies. About 15 years ago, we got into the tower industry, and our biggest focus in the tower industry was the safety piece, and it was very important to us that we were a part of this because there was a change in culture, if you will, with safety requirements in the tower industry, and we wanted to be a big part of that. So we worked very closely with Nate, and we've been a Nate partner for a long time to help build a training standard when it came to climbing. About a year ago when we were at, it was Nate 2013, we had our same booth, much like we have this year, and the common theme that we were hearing from a lot of different industry was just the lack of the workforce. They could find the workforce, but they couldn't get them trained and get them ready to go. There were so many X amount of certifications that they had to have, and we got to get these guys ready to go and train. And so what we started dabbling with was the idea of a Tower Safety Academy. And what the Tower Safety Academy allows is for tower companies, to actually send their students to a week-long safety academy track that is focused specifically on safety training for the tower industry, and especially the big topics such as authorized climber, competent climber rescue, OSHA 10 hour, and first aid CPR. And what we've done is we've set this up with 40 hours of classroom and tower time that the students can actually be in the classroom for the OSHA 10 hour, the first aid, and some of the authorized climber, but everything else is spent on the tower, and that's very important. We have on the tower an actual piece to that. Now, we say it's a 40-hour training, but we have to be very careful because there are expectations that the students will actually do extra work past that 5 o'clock time frame. When the students are released for dinner, they actually are given packets to do in the evenings together in work groups. They're assigned different work groups. They go out, and on the average, it takes between 2 and 2.5 hours to get through this packet of information. And it's reinforcing what they learned during the day and actually pushing what they're going to learn the next day. So we can spend very little time introducing new ideas. They should have read it first and came to it. And there is a big responsibility on the student because if they're not prepared for that next day or didn't do the work the night before, it's an academy, and we're very serious about this. We'll ask them to leave the academy. They're not part of this. If they want to be a part of this industry, we want them to be ready when they walk out. And when we're limited to a week, we have to utilize any time we can. And when these guys go out to work, you know this as well as I do, they're going to work past 5. It's going to happen. So that part is somewhat unique. We don't take training to a time element. It's very competency based. And it's very important to us that we're testing and assessing those competencies. Not a check mark, not a true-false test, not a multiple choice test, but a very hands-on assessment feel. And that's, we stress that a lot, and we're very passionate about that.
Let's talk about development and where you see education for tower hands going, and possibly the development of a program.
Absolutely, and this I will tell you, this kind of stemmed from our academy when we were first putting this together. If I kind of step you through this, the first step, what we usually do is we'll put together a sector board, and that sector board includes different industry leaders. So we've called and contacted, and all the people that we've contacted so far have been Nate members, which has made it very nice as they participate very well together. And we'll call different company leaders. We'll get together and we'll put a board together. And we just take the input from them on how the industry is changing, what can we add to our training, what can we take away from our training, and just kind of go from there. Well, that has really led us into this next generation. That really is kind of how we came along with the Tower Academy in the first place. The next generation to that is let's get past safety. as new tower hands are coming on, we're literally asking them to go through a week's worth of training and then be prepared to work in the workforce, and that's crazy. These individuals have very limited knowledge of the workforce. So what our next level to this is, and our next step, is to actually build a curriculum into which they're spending more time on the technical side. A prime example of this, and we've said this before, we have thousands and thousands of programs for nursing students, and these nursing students spend 4 to 6 years in nursing school before you even let them on the floor. And if you do let them on the floor, they have somebody watching them at all times. In the tower industry, we just say, here, thank you very much, you passed the safety exam, now get on the tower and put that antenna up. That's insanity. They have to have that working knowledge and that core curriculum. And our next plan, our next generation to this, is to actually work with these other leaders in technology and these other leaders in the tower industry and build a curriculum that's put in place so the student is 100% prepared, no matter if it's a cell tower, if it's a nacelle, if they're in the wind energy program or getting through the wind energy, whatever the tower might be, that they're ready to go, that they're primed and they understand pressure points, hook, they understand all of it, all the terminology. The next tier to that is to turn all that information into a college credit program. So after a year or 2 years, a student can actually get an associate's degree as a tower hand and take them to the next level. So ultimately, what we'd like to do is be able to take, after a year or a year and a half of school, that this individual would have almost 2 years of work experience crammed into this first year and a half. And then these companies have a pipeline of individuals that are coming out of the schools. We don't want to be alone. We want to share this with as many people as we can and try and put a consortium together somehow that we can build this into a program and have less of a worry of how are we going to have a workforce. The workforce has to be built at a younger age. It has to be built at the 8th grade level. And the community colleges have a very strong connection to the K-12 institutions in their area. Why aren't we utilizing that? And that's what I really, really want to try and put together and push as much as we can.
Okay. Bill, thanks so much for your time. Good thoughts and best of luck.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much.